Hey, g'day guys, Adam from VideoShowMeHow. I am excited about this one. We are continuing the Canopy build on the back of the D-Max. There is the full final build play series on the YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, I will link it down below there. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already, because we are in full swing. Today, we are fitting out the water tank. It is living up underneath right there. You would have seen that if you've been following along at home with the Canopy install. So when we put this guy in, we had this guy bolted in. It is a full 80-litre stainless tank, and it is time, people. It is time to get all of this into there. Actually, probably yes, into there, and work out how all this is going to work. So, if you're looking at how to install a full dual pump water system into the back of your Canopy, this is the video for you. So, without further ado, let's get started. Right. So, a couple of things to note. I got most of this kit from the legends over at Outback Equipment. Not sponsored or anything like that, but I do have a discount code. So if you're looking at any of this sort of gear or anything from them, actually, head on over to the VideoShowMeHow website, VideoShowMeHow.com. Click the little bit at the top that says discount codes, and you'll find the bucks off code there, so that if you're buying anything, you can save some dollars. And two, I'm going to do my best right now to sort of explain the way the water is going to run. But if you're looking to replicate something similar, on the VideoShowMeHow website under other content, just at the top here, along with all the other wiring diagrams for all of this malarkey, you will see the water diagram. So if you're looking for a diagram of how this works, VideoShowMeHow.com, check out the top there and you can download the full thing for free. Right, so when it came to water, I had a couple of requirements. One, we've kind of achieved in the fact that I wanted permanent water on board, nice tucked away, out of sort of the muck and everything, and non-rust or any sort of dramas with that. Mission accomplished, full stainless tank. Around the other side, I'll show you what that looks like. It's is sort of a full setup. We have big outlet here, we have drain bolt there, we have, if I can show you guys and get you guys in here, we have fill port here, we have breather port there. So we have everything we need as far as using this guy in whichever way we want. So that is good to go. You will notice I have two pumps, and we are going with a dual pump setup because I wanted to cover a few different bases. One, I want to be able to run a standard sort of hose at the back here. So my standard cooking setup, camp setup, when I'm living out of the D-Max, is the back tray here that I have kind of all knickknacks and recovery gear and what have you in the back. This is my table. So cooker on here, induction cooker. I wanted to be able to then have water here somewhere too, right? So when I'm cooking or, you know, normal camp stuff, I've got water. So that's where I'm like, I need some sort of an outlet, and I found this guy. I'll link all of this in the video description, but this guy I found online, and it just is a really nice high quality bit of kit. It is full John Guest style fittings for everything. So we've got regular taps here, John Guest at the back. We have a waterproof switch at the front here as well, so we can switch independently. So that's our inlets, and that's how that works. As far as how the rest will work, it's going to be something like this. So scenario one, we want to fill it. We plug in our TAM water hose into here using our John Guest fittings here and pipe straight up into our filler, which looks a little bit like this. Little John Guest fitting here, right angle into our 38mm hose clamp into our stainless tank underneath. Happy days, it'll come back out the breather, and then we know it's full. We'll be using one of these guys. I've had great success with these. They're a Mopica Pro. You can use these for gas tanks and all sorts of stuff, but also you can use it for diesel, water, and ultimately all you do is this gets stuck to the underneath the tank. It looks a little bit like a Ruby tag, just a bit bigger, and then it wirelessly transmits to the Victron system that I've got, shows it on the screen, what the tank percentages are doing, all of that sort of stuff, completely wirelessly. Battery lasts for about 2-3 years, so really good bit of kit. That'll be on the bottom. Water coming out, we'll have second version of one of these down into the inlet here, through our fitting, through our strainer, into the pump, pressurized water out the other side, down then to this. We'll keep all of this really tight so we're not having any sort of dirty water mixing with the good water, into a splitter, into a T-piece, we'll cover that in a sec, and then to our tap. So that's our pressurized water from here up through the pump, down through our splitter and into our output. So we turn the tap on, connect our hose and our squirter, away we go, using our cooking little table just there. While we're here, I am going to install a separate little tap. Going to live on the passenger side, but it's going to go the equivalent of just down in here. So that'll sit just there, except it'll be around that way so I can access the little handle, and then I'll just go in there so that if I need just sort of quick access to water, wash the hands, you know, wash the feet off, any of that sort of stuff really quickly, I'll have that pressurized ready to go. That little T-piece off here, I'll have a separate on-off switch that's just up underneath here so that if anyone's been silly buggers and they see it in a car park or something like that, they can't just drain my water tank. Sort of second bit of redundancy there, and then that all the way through to the tap. So that's that sort of side of things. I do have an accumulator tank, and I'm 50-50 on whether I'm going to need this, so we'll see how we go. I want to get all this installed first. This would go on the back of our toolbox where everything's going to live inside here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. The whole point of an accumulator tank is if you're half got the tap on and it gives you that kind of not constant stream, the accumulator tank will stop that from happening. So it's likely we're going to need that, but we will see. That's really just simple. It's just in line. We do that in line with the main tank to cut out any of that churning of the water. Now, when it comes to our sucking the water out of the creek for unlimited showers scenario, that's what this is for. So we have this, will go on the end of our hose. So imagine a sort of a 10 meter, sort of 20 meter hose down into the creek. That goes into there. It then comes back up to connect into here. This then comes up all the way into our second pump, through our skin fitting, through our strainer, into the pump, out of the pump, back down into our splitter, into our 2-into-1, through here again, and out our output. One thing I have forgotten actually is this guy. It is a non-return valve that will go in there on the drinking water side. So that way there's no water being pushed back up or anything like that into our drinking water, doesn't contaminate any of that. So that'll keep all of that isolated, only drinking water going out, never have, you know, creek water coming back up. So that'll keep all that nice and clean, and gives us the ability to draw creek water out through here, through a pressurized scenario, and then back out here through the second pump. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, at least. If you need the sort of the water diagram, water system diagram, once again, VideoShowMeHow.com. I'll have the whole thing there downloadable for free for you if you want to do something similar. From here, let's have a bit of a look-see. You can see in here we have quite a bit of space, goes way up there. We'll be able to keep our hose and what have you in there, no worries at all. But the pump wise, they're going to be going in here pretty much like that. One there, one over there. So plenty of space in here. I'll probably sneak one right in there somewhere. We're going to have bolts going directly through. We just got to mark all this up, and then the second one up in there as well. So that's what I'm going to get cracking on now, is basically drilling these guys into place, and then from there we can start getting our fittings of these guys, work out where they need to go, so we can drill those holes, get them into place. It'll be that way, get them into place so we can start running some of our plumbing. Alrighty, so loads of progress. I will show you this in just a second. I've jerry-rigged up a little bit of cabling to our switch panel just over here, but wanted to show you all of our plumbing side of things, which is all done. I've just dropped down our little bracket here so I can kind of show you what is what, and hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. So we have our two inlets here. I'm going to 3D print a little label sort of thing at the top here to make it a bit easier, because I will forget, no doubt. Two inlets. We have our drinking water inlet, which I will show you working in just a second over here. We'll plug that guy in. This guy here is our fish water, our suction from the creek inlet there into our second pump. And then this is our outlet, which we have our little bendy hose, which we'll be using over here in our kitchen. But we then basically have this guy running all the way up and around to our main tank. I'll run over there and show you that in a sec. We have this guy going straight up here and into our second pump, our inlet there, which looks just like this. So that's coming in here through our IP68 grommet, then comes in through here, through our little pre-filter here, into the pump, back out through the other side, which then comes out here, down here, and through our non-return valve. There is two of those right here, 1 and 2, one of which I'm pretty sure is leaking, this white one here. So I'm going to grab a second one of those to replace, because the pump still is flicking on every now and again. So then the two inlets will come in here through our splitter, our 2-into-1. We then come ultimately down to our outlet, which we can turn on and off independently, which is pretty handy. We do have a T-piece in here though, splitting off. I've got this as a tap so that I can isolate that separately from the pump. So a little separate sort of isolation switch. So that then comes up and over there. So we might run around there and show you. So up underneath here, this is all done. I just need to put our conduit all over the piping here. I won't won't sort of bother taking you through that. That's pretty straightforward, just running conduit across anywhere any of the hose is exposed to give it a bit of extra protection from rocks and what have you. It is pretty protected under here, and the fact there's tire and diff and all bits and pieces, but you never know. We don't want anything smashing one of these, splitting one of these and losing all our drinking water on a trip somewhere. We wait and we get to the other end and we've got no water left. So cover all of your exposed pipes with some conduit for some extra protection, and then we'll basically just be zip tying all of this up and nice and neatly out of the way. But yeah, so this is our extra couple of hoses coming in from the other side. We have this guy here, which is our outlet. So if we have a look at the bottom of the tank, this is where all the water's coming back out through here, and then over shooting across out to pump number 1, which is our drinking water pump. That's that guy over there. This one is coming in and running up over to here, which is our fill port. So this is where all the water will fill back up into here. That's at the very top of the tank. So that will fill our tank up nicely just like that. Pretty sort of simple affair. You will see that in here as well, here is our breather. So we've got that all connected. It's running up and around there, and it comes out of here all the way up, and I've actually put this up in the headboard. A couple of reasons for that. One, I'm running out of space underneath here because we have our secondary diesel fill there for our diesel tank that's sitting up under here. We've got an extra 40 litres hiding in the headboard there. I'll need to finish the 3D print model for, we're gonna have a big wire joiner for all of this to get rid of all that piping, similar to this guy just here. That will tidy all that up, but I sort of don't really have room to put it in here where I was gonna put it originally, because there will be a hose underneath. So this was the next best solution. I think it should do the job there. It's nice and tucked away. We've got the outlets actually pointing down, so it should be a-okay and works quite well. I'll show you that in just a second. So that's that. And then finally, the only other thing around this side is this extra little bonus hose, this guy here, and that runs over to our tap. So it comes up here into a splitter, just up in there. This is super hard to show you all this, but over here and then out over here. So we can just easily turn that on, wash our hands, wash your feet, fill up a jug, you know, whatever you need to do. Over here, you've got pressurized water without needing the whole canopy open or what have you. So that's pretty handy. If I come around here, I'll show you how this would work. So we want to fill it from our pressurized water. A matter of clicking this guy in here, just like that. We then just need to turn it on. You can hear some noises. That's then filling up through all the way across. I'll rip around here. It already is quite full, so it's going to come out of here in a minute. We can already start to see a little bit of the water coming through there. And then in just a second, that's how we know it's full, because it's coming out of our breather. The benefit of that is, if I rip back around and we'll turn that off. The benefit of that is because it's coming out of the very top here, this hose all the way from down there is effectively full as well. So the benefit of that is, even if the D-Max isn't on a completely level surface, because that's now the highest point by probably a good meter, the tank should be completely full. And then secondary, this is our fill from our creek. This goes through to our second pump, and this is sort of the suction, or the intent being the suction. Now, the issue I have is I had all this ready to go and I wanted to show you. The idea was that, say this is your creek, you'd plug in this guy into there and have that connected. You'd turn that second pump on. Once then you've got your big hose. We've got this guy with our little just our little sort of screen there that would go into your water source, whatever that is, you know, your stream or whatever that you camp next to. You'd then turn the secondary pump on, and that then diverts straight through here, through our splitter here into our output, effectively pumping anything from your water source here, from your creek or what have you, up and into your output. The idea being that we can then plumb this directly into our shower unit or what have you, and not use our drinking water at that time. Now, I wanted to show you this in action. However, I have found, I don't know whether this will show you in here, but effectively our secondary little angle here is got a problem, and it leaks like a sieve as soon as I turn that on. So I've got more of these turning up. You'll have to trust me. It will. I've tested it and it works. It sort of spurts out, but then it's all sorts of spurting out at that right angle as well. So once that's in play, this section here will work as well. And then of course, finally is our output, and this is pretty straightforward. We can isolate it here on the tap. It then pulls in using our main drinking water pump just here through our pre-filter back out to here, and then whatever you've got plugged into there is our little hose. Gives us loads and loads of pressure here. So much so, check this out. If I flick this over to jet mode, like we're getting a good 15 meters of jet there, so we can give the car a wash with that much pressure. Jerry-rigged wiring is not going to work, so I need to do the proper wiring. This is going to be pretty straightforward. We'll just be using another one of our little IP65 skin fittings here. That's going to go on the back wall there as well. It'll go out there underneath here, all conduited up, back up the back here, and then where our other cabling coming in just here, we're just going to have another one right next to it, which will come through here and then be fed through our 12 volt conduits that we've already set up into our switch panel here, just like this one is already, so that it can be activated by our switch panel over there. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get those all wired in, so this is all legit, and no more jerry rig. All right, well that pretty well does it here. We are all buttoned up. It is all nice and clean in there. We have our cabling coming through, all our plumbing done. We've got everything nice and conduited all the way around so that it pops back up and into our canopy. It's then wired through and into our DC connector, so that when we come around here, we have underneath, we have our nice little connectors sitting up here, nice and tight, nice and tucked out of the way. We've got our little dust cap sitting on there. But yeah, basically the idea is I'll be able to just click into there, turn that guy on. I can turn on the tap for the other side, and then pretty much just rip around here. I've got both of our tanks set up on here. So we have our fish pump. You can hear that kicking on, so that if we've got our hose running to the creek, we can pump water in that way and not use our drinking water. And then we have our regular water that will prime up there like it already has. We can see at the top here, there's our freshwater tank showing nice and full. So that means that I'm cooking on here, I'm out at camp, and there we go. We have plenty of water. So great success. I am super stoked with that. I'm actually really impressed with how quiet these are, because right in front, that's not so bad. And if we close that up and turn it on from here, that's not bad at all. I've had pumps in the past that make a hell of a noise. So well, just throw the handle around, no big deal, Adam. But yeah, that's even give the old D-Max a bit of a wash. So pretty stoked with the amount of pressure there. The idea is in camp mode is that will go there. I've got my cooker that will go there. We have our bits and pieces on the slide out here from the canopy, and then fridge with all the bits and pieces there. So that'll be the setup. You'll see this in some future upcoming trips for the video, but other than that, that is kind of the full setup of how to plumb in a dual tank setup. You'll see this guy in action on some camping videos coming up soon, where I'll test that and show you that in action once I've replaced a couple of the elbows that are leaking at the moment. One, definitely recommend the John Guest stuff. Two, plan everything out before you get started. Use the guide if you like, the diagram that I'll have for free. You can download it off the Video Show Me How website. Just head on over there, go onto other content, and scroll down, you'll see it in there. So feel free to download that. I'll list out everything in as far as plumbing diagram wise that I've used, but then you'll see all the different parts that I've used as well. So you can kind of cut out what you don't want or add what you do. And then three, definitely recommend a way of measuring how much water you've got remaining. It's just so much easier if you've got some sort of a sensor that shows you that. Obviously, if you don't have stupid over the top Vitron setup here, that's may not be required. There's a load of other different options, right? You can have the little senders in there. You can have those impeller ones that go in line, and even wirelessly go to your app now on your phone. So there's a few different options, but definitely recommend having some way of understanding how much water you've got in there, but as you're using it, how much you got left. But that's all for this video, guys. So I hope you found that helpful. As always, subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, guys, as always, hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.